Imagine this. You have just $100 left. That's it. No backup plan, no support, no second chance. And somehow you decide to invest it into a business that is already dying. Not struggling, not slow, dying. So let me ask you something honestly. Would you do it? Because one broke kid actually did. And in just 90 days, he made more money than every competitor on his street combined. But here's the part that doesn't make sense. He didn't win by selling more. He didn't win by lowering prices. In fact, he barely sold anything at all. His name is Leo. Right now, he's sitting on the curb, head slightly down, hands tense, clutching his last $100 like it's the only thing keeping him alive. In front of him stands an old water station. The paint is peeling, the sign is cracked, dust covers everything. It looks abandoned, like a business people forgot even existed. And somehow it gets worse, because on that same street there are 5 other water stations, all fighting each other, all desperate. Prices have already crashed from $5 down to $2, and after costs, there's almost nothing left. No margin, no profit, just slow death. This isn't business anymore. It's survival. People noticed him. They laughed. Some shook their heads, others didn't even bother hiding it. They weren't watching to support him. They were watching for entertainment, waiting for him to fail. But Leo didn't react the way you'd expect. He didn't lower prices. He didn't upgrade the shop. He didn't even try to compete. And he definitely didn't quit. Instead, he did something that made no sense at all. He walked inside, picked up a brush, dipped it in red paint, and slowly wrote 4 words on the old sign. Drink water for free. At first, people thought it was a joke. Then, they thought maybe it was desperation. Then they were sure he had lost his mind. Because think about it, in a business already losing money, who gives everything away for free? It didn't make sense. And that's exactly why it worked. Because Leo wasn't being reckless. He wasn't being emotional. He was being strategic. He wasn't giving anything away. He was setting a trap. When people came closer, curious and confused, he explained calmly, "The water is completely free. No hidden charges, no tricks. But you need to place a $150 deposit for the dispenser. It's fully refundable anytime. And as long as you keep it, you'll never pay for water again." 2 weeks later, something unbelievable happened. 2,000 families signed up. That's $300,000 flowing into his hands just like that. Now pause for a second. Most people would look at that and say, wow, he made money, but that's not. Sherry, what happened? That wasn't income. That wasn't profit. That was leverage. Because years before Leo, someone else discovered this exact idea, not in a water business, but in something much simpler. A 17-year-old kid, no fame, no fortune, just a different way of thinking. His name was Warren Buffett. Instead of working long hours, he bought a single pinball machine, not to play, but to place. He walked into a busy barber shop, watched how long people waited, watched how bored they were, then made a simple offer. "I'll put this machine here for free. We split whatever it makes. No risk for the barber, no cost, only upside." And that machine started generating money, not because he worked harder, but because he positioned smarter. That's the difference most people miss. Some people trade time for money, others build systems where money comes in without them being there. And Leo understood this perfectly, that $300,000 wasn't his reward, it was his weapon. Instead of spending it, he moved fast. He went straight to struggling suppliers, factories losing money, businesses on the edge, and he made deals they couldn't refuse. He secured access to filters, locked in bucket production, negotiated long-term supply at extremely low costs. Step by step, he wasn't building a business anymore. He was building control. And suddenly everything changed. The cost to deliver water dropped dramatically from $1.50 to just 30 cents. At that moment, he stopped being just a water seller. He became something much bigger. He controlled the system behind the product. And those 2,000 families, they weren't just customers anymore. They were locked in because walking away meant losing free water and staying meant staying inside his system. From there, opportunities multiplied, filters needed replacing, services could be added, more value could be introduced, and every step strengthened his position. Now zoom out for a second. This isn't just about water. Look around you. Free apps, discount offers, convenient services. They all follow the same pattern. They don't start by making money from you. They start by attracting you, because once you're inside, the game changes. And here's the truth most people never realize. If you can't clearly see how the system makes money, there's a chance you're part of how it does. So tell me this, what's the smartest free strategy you've ever seen, or the one that surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to understand how these systems really work, follow, because once you see it, you can't unsee it.